sometimes if you have old cards, you can get ideas or remind you the shape of a heart. This is obviously a pretty symmetrical heart. This is more free form where you just draw it. What I like to do is take another piece of copy paper, fold it about a third of the way, and remember, when we fold, take your finger and crease it. And when we make a heart shape, because it's symmetrical, what you see on the left, you see on the right. You know, if we divide a line down the middle. When we draw it, all we have to do is draw one side. So what I'm going to do is take my pencil, and I'm going to just draw a series of hearts. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to think about this shape right here. In other words, here's the fold line down the middle. So when we unfold it, we'll get and cut it out, we'll get the whole heart shape. So let's do this. Remember to push way out and then come back in. All right? You say, well, that's okay. I'll do another one. Maybe I'll do one a little bit smaller. So I go up, push out, 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 and then come back in. I'll do another one. This is kind of like practice, because if you do a whole series of them, eventually you'll get pretty good at it. Go up, push out, come back in, and so forth. So now what you're going to do is you're going to keep it folded, take your scissors, and cut those out. Or you can pick one and say, well, I think that one, I don't like this one, but I like this one down here, so I'm going to cut that one out. And notice that I'm keeping my scissors straight. I'm not moving my scissors. What am I moving? I'm moving the piece of paper. So turn the paper, and notice my scissors are kept straight up and down. And move the paper. So now that I've cut that out, now I can undo this, and look, I have a heart. You say, well, I knew that. Well, this is a review, so but again, I like it where you practice and then you pick one, and then I'm going to use this as a pattern. I'll show you how to do that. So if I want to do some different size, then I can fold it again the other way and make some more. Maybe I'll make some smaller ones. Remember to go up, because remember we got to go up, out, and come back in. What I see some sloppy hearts is that it goes up and it goes down like an ear, and you don't want it. That's too skinny. It's too ugly. So be sure you push out. So you go up and come back in. So I'm going to make a series of smaller ones. So I have and I'm practicing to see which ones are going to be usable. Maybe I'll do some small ones. So I did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7. And then you take a look at it and say, well, I think I like this one here. So remember, keep your scissors straight, turn your paper. Notice the paper is turning. And there it is. Okay. So now I can unfold this, and there's my smaller heart. Okay. So now I have 2 hearts to play with. All right, back to the card. So now I have this card. I'm saying, okay, we're going to do the outside design in part 1. We'll do part 2, we'll do the inside, including the lettering. And then part 3 will be details, and I'm going to show you how to make an envelope. So let's see, what could we do to the outside? Well, I could make a series of hearts. I want to make a border. I could use my ruler. I could use cutouts. So I think here's something to do. Take your larger heart and kind of angle it, and so the top part is on the edge, and I'm going to take my pencil. I'm just going to trace it. Then I'm going to move it around and just trace the top part. And I'm going to move it next to it and make another one. So what I'm going to be doing is actually cutting this out to make a cutout border. Remember on those old 1900 cards, they all had cutout edges around. So now what I've done is I made these top loops or arches, which is like the heart. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut that out. Again, keeping my scissors straight up and down and turning the paper. Don't do this. So here I'm keeping my scissors straight and then turning the paper. So what you end up with is a nice cutout border, and then you're going to be able to do different things with that. You play off of it. So this is where you're thinking outside the box. This is where your creativity comes in on what could I do with it. And again, there's no wrong answer. It's just the fact of you need to come up with some type of design of what you want. So that doesn't look like much now, but notice, see that now that's going to open up even easier. So forth. So now I'm going to take this heart shape back again. I'm going to place it in there, and this time I'm going to get my colored pencils out, take them out of the box, and find my warm colors first. Let's see, I don't need the white, the black, no black, and brown. Take my neutral colors. I don't think I'll use those. And of course the rest of them are my cool colors. So I'm going to go ahead and take red, place my pattern heart back on, and I'm going to trace it. Now, push kind of hard, don't break the lead of the, but just trace it. Hold it down. Notice I'm holding it in the middle of the heart, and I am holding it down. Maybe use 1 or 2 fingers to do that. And I'm going slow. Just don't need to go fast on this. And I'm tracing the heart. So there's my first heart. I'm going to go down here, maybe at the other end, and do the same thing. Now, if you are a good heart drawer, freehand, maybe you don't need a pattern. But I kind of like patterns. That way I don't get frustrated. So there's my first 2 hearts. Now, I could put another heart in there and it overlaps it. That makes some nice shapes. I could do that. I could take the smaller one and it would fit inside. I could put the hearts inside of a heart. So let's try that. So I go in here like this. So again, whatever you decide to come up with. The nice thing about the pattern, again, all your hearts are pretty uniform. The other thing you can do is say, I wonder, instead of putting 1, I wonder if I could put more than 1 in there. 1, oh yeah, I could put 2 in there, or I could put 3 in there. You can kind of size it up. So I could turn it this way. I could overlap it if I want, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to watch my space in here, my spacing. So in other words, I kind of want to center it. And I could get to the close and I could cut this out. That'd be cool. I think I'm going to do that. So again, as you're working, you're going to come up with your own ideas. So here I trace it. And there's my, oops, there's my third heart. Okay. And before I forget, I'm going to cut that little part out there. If you don't want to cut it out, don't cut it out. So when I open it, there's a little diamond, almost a diamond kind of shape in there. That might come in handy later. All right, now you say, well, now what do I do? I could add more hearts, but at this point, I'm going to shift to some ideas. Maybe I want to, once I've drawn one, I can copy it and put another one inside freehand. Because I don't have a smaller one, I could put another one in here. Just watch your spacing, slow down, don't go too fast. I could put a series of hearts in there. Then what I can do is, let's say, if I leave this one, that's going to be dark, and that's going to be, so I'm going to shade this one in. What I like to do is I don't do it real dark at first. I kind of shade it in layers. So I'm going to shade it in lightly first. Notice I'm turning the paper. I'm not going way over here and turning my pencil, my hand. I'm turning my paper to get where I want to fill in. Then I'm going to fill in this one. And notice now the hearts stand out. Then if I want to go back and shade it darker maybe, give it some value, darker on the outside and have it go in to lighter. Since last semester, I know Mrs. Tomlinson talked about value a lot. That comes in handy. That skill, knowing that, instead of just filling in solid with one value, you have different values. And for some odd reason, the magic shows up and things look more alive when you add different values. You might even want to mix colors. Let's say this Valentine is for a boy, a male. Well, you don't want to use pink and too much red. You can tone it down by using maybe a cool color. So maybe I want to use cool color in here. That kind of tones it down a little bit. Or maybe it's just for a friend and not for a, quote, special person, like a girlfriend, boyfriend type of thing. You can always tone it down. Let's say you're making one for your grandmother or something. Well, you might want to add yellow. Oops, pushed too hard. Notice it broke. That happens. I took a college class and they said if your pencil doesn't break at least once or twice, then you're not using your pencil. So again, using different colors, because I'm thinking of who I'm giving it to, makes a difference. My mom always liked yellow, so I always added yellow to my Valentine cards that I gave her. And so you might want to think about, okay, I'm making this Valentine card for this person. What's their favorite color? And add that in there. That makes it more special. That makes it more personal. Now the yellow doesn't show up very well, so maybe I'll go back and outline the yellow heart so the yellow stands out better. Remember, contrast. The red is darker than the yellow, and so to make the yellow stand out so you can see it, you're going to add something darker next to it. Well, in this case, it's red. So now the yellow stands out even better. Again, going back and adding, using different colors. Maybe I'll use violet this time. You know, you don't have to stay with heart shapes. I'm going to go add some circles. Slow it down and space them out. And so any type of design, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's balanced. For some reason, the human brain likes things, sometimes it likes things in balance where it's same on both sides. Sometimes it's good to have things that are not the same on both sides. Maybe I'll do this. And then I'll put a blue heart in here. Okay. Maybe I'll do some shading. Some of you are thinking, he said blue, this is violet. That's right, I'm using violet. Cool color. So you can see that don't get stuck with one color. You know, I started out with red, which is red is for Valentine's Day, but when you start utilizing other colors that maybe people don't connect with Valentine's Day, it does make it a little bit more special. So, okay, let's go back to this the cutout. Remember when we cut out the border? Maybe I want to do this. Copy that cutout design. I'm going to leave that open because you know what I'm going to add there. I'm going to add a what? I'm going to add a heart. Okay. And you just keep building. You just go, go, go. Let me show you one I was practicing on. So here's another one. See, kind of where here I started overlapping, putting these heart patterns on top, and you start just trial and error. You know, if you don't try something, how you don't know if you like it or not? Notice I added some curls here. So if I wanted to do that on this one, I could go here and make a curl. Curls are fun. They add like that. Then I could probably do something like this, do another one this way. Maybe I want to fill this in. The outline of the heart was violet. Now I'm filling it red. So what I want you to do is think about your border. Think about using your different size hearts for patterns. Think about other shapes you could use, other lines to duplicate and accent the heart shape. In other words, I put hearts inside of hearts. I use different colors. And think of, again, who you think you're going to give it to. Notice what I did here on this one. I even cut out this border, this straight border. Notice, see the difference? I even cut that, and I did this. Watch this when I open it. I didn't do, there's about 3.5, almost 4 hearts here, and I only did one, though, the red one. And when you open up, the red one's still there. And notice I did some curls and some solid circle shapes. So whatever you come up with, that's the fun part. I mean, you could spend an hour on here if you want to, because I could go back here and add some more just lines going around it. Maybe I want to add another heart in here. See? And I could come around here, stop right there, come around here, stop right here. What am I going to put in here? Another heart. Okay. So put another heart in there. Remember to push out. Another heart in there. And then you just let it keep on going. Maybe I want to fill this in with a light blue. Kind of like that. That relates to this color over here. So notice I go light blue, light blue, light blue. Violet, violet. See that? Notice on this one I had a solid, almost a solid red heart with some value, dark, but then I went back with some violet and I added it to kind of shadow the heart. So that's a little bit different. Here's a blue heart here. Okay. So what I want you to do is just keep on working on the outside of your card. So that's part one, is to get this done, because what we're going to do on part two is we're going to do the inside of the card. And we'll be talking about doing the lettering and the message and the inside design and so forth. So what I want you to do is have lots of fun on creating the outside design of your card. And remember, you need line paper for next time, because we need that for your lettering. Okay? All right? So have fun with it, and see you for part two.